Welcome back to In the Oven with Adam and Brad.
What's up, y'all?
We were just discussing the titles that Eastman put on some of these videos for us to like watch and talk about are just, I mean, they may be the best clickbait titles I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he's not doing this for our YouTube channel, because I like want to watch all these videos now. Ants versus humans, who would win? I'm so intrigued by that title.
I need a flamethrower.
Teen derails train for views, comma, UFO.
Boom. I need it.
Depression versus anger men.
Yes.
And then what's a cheaper, resort or Washington? And then scam alert, QR code. All of these, I am so interested in these.
Yep.
I wish that Eastman did our podcast titles this way. So.
Oh yeah. These are next level. All right, let's click on. Let's
okay.
see.
Well, I wanted to start with the ants versus humans.
need to.
Who would win?
So there's
First
a
off,
billion more ants than or whatever per person.
Are they saying like every ant comes out and every human comes out and we're gonna fight them?
I don't know.
Because I would say I would win because I got Terminex.
Yeah, I would bust out a flamethrower.
Yeah. But a one-on-one with like the same amount of ants.
I wonder how many ants there are to humans. I wonder if it tells us like how many more ants, because there are more ants.
How many ants do you think you could take at once?
Millions.
Think so?
Yeah. If like a hot step, like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is you got to move fast.
Depends on how swarmy they were,
Yeah.
And if
because
they're
I'm worried that if you're hot stepping and you hit down, that like you may
Puffin.
accidentally like kind of pull some up with you.
Yeah,
and
just pour gasoline on the ground.
Like, no, it's just you.
Oh, just
combat ready, Adam. Just duking it.
Oh, millions.
Okay.
Let's see what it says.
All right, we'll watch it. Watch the video.
There's an extinction level event that could wipe out the entire planet and nobody's ever talked about it. There's 1 quadrillion ants estimated on this planet and 8 billion people, right?
Quadrillion
if
ants.
The ants got together and individually attacked each person on this planet all at once, that would be 125 million ants per person. Could you take that? Immediately, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, 125 million ants.
125 million per person.
Everyone.
With a flamethrower? Hell yeah. And some chemicals.
Survive.
Call Monsanto up or whatever.
Trust me, the ants would have casualties. They'd probably make it down to like
your boy Adam. Give me
whatever
some ant
half
killer.
quadrillion is. But still.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have invented things to kill ants very quickly.
Yeah, nukes. Dude, that many bugs show up, pop smoke, dude.
I'm just gonna
blow it up.
I'm just gonna have a posse of anteaters.
Bro, Ant-Man.
All you can eat buffet.
Bing. Ant-Man. Call him.
I think a posse of anteaters would be great.
Yeah, they'd just be like,
I'm rolling my crew. It's all you can eat buffet.
Yep.
Interesting.
All right. So
I didn't realize there was
solved.
that many ants per person.
I didn't either. A quadrillion.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like the U.S.'s national debt. Let's see. Now let's see this teen derailing a train for views.
This is everything that happened on the news today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. If you haven't heard about this yet, tourists just reported a UFO sighting in Ibiza, and it's literally on video.
They pronounce it Ibiza. Which I feel like
That was just what was caught on video, but it's not yet been confirmed what it actually was. Deadpool and Wolverine just officially opened with $438 million worldwide, which is crazy. The Xbox 360 store will now be officially closing down fully today, which I think is the saddest thing ever.
they're getting rid of the
this
Xboxes.
teenager
That
just
makes
purposely derailed the train in an
here we
attempt
go.
to create a viral video on YouTube.
Oh.
They're saying that the teenager is 17 years old and he was charged this week with 2 felonies for allegedly derailing trains in Nebraska to film insane footage for YouTube. Okay, Jake Paul.
Oh,
if you didn't hear
man.
about this, there was a massive power outage that happened in Paris on the first day of the Olympics. Apparently, the whole area just went black.
All right, so starting with the UFO sighting thing, at first I was just going to make a joke about how I was at Ibiza or whatever, so I wouldn't trust anything because everyone's on drugs there. But, when you see something like that, I think the response from people is going to be something like, the way the moon was shining and cloud, water vapors, something like that.
Well, man, I think we've got classified stuff too. I think things can be explained with like We talked about the classified patents
yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
man. There's probably some planes out there. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it could be a lens flare, but then, and you know I like aliens.
Yeah.
I'd love this, but I've seen better.
Yeah, and then as far as the Deadpool Wolverine thing, I actually saw that it grossed $444 million worldwide, making it the #1 rated R movie release of all time.
Wow.
And also, like, didn't Avatar do like $1 billion and it was like a big deal? To me, $440 million on the opening weekend's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Great. I mean, I think there's a lot to that, man. People want to get out.
Yeah. Well, we saw it.
Hell yeah, we did.
I will say, one, I feel like this movie has been talked about for a really long time.
Yeah, a lot of hype.
Yeah, a lot of hype been built around this. I think that when you bring in, people like Ryan Reynolds.
The Ryan Reynolds effect, dude. Currently, right now, man.
The Rock used to have that effect,
know.
and I don't feel like it's the same as it used to be. Probably because he's been in so many movies now
Yeah.
that people are like, okay, because he talked about Black Adam all the time. And he talked about
The Rock, I think, he's just too much of a character. He's just too much of a persona. I think everybody knows that that's the persona.
Right.
Ryan Reynolds feels realer.
Right.
I think he's just more unfiltered, but to me, he's starting to seem more scripted, if anything. But anyways,
Can we talk about the Ryan Reynolds phenomena though? Like, how did Ryan Reynolds become like? There was this joke about like who would I cheat on you with? Like, and you would do a PowerPoint presentation for your girlfriend, and it would be like nobody. And then like at the end, it would like Ryan Reynolds' face would like flash up. He became this like male bromance heartthrob thing that has, in my opinion, catapulted his brand. So
yeah, he just man, coming from a Alanis Morissette background, they were married for a while back in the day. I remember seeing him on MTV Cribs. He was in Blade Trinity.
Oh yeah,
he just was like, for sure, jacked. But like, he's been around for so long. I don't know what.
But he's always played this kind of fuckboy role.
Yeah, but recently is just in everything, buying everything, making business moves, all kinds of stuff. So
he is one of the greatest marketers of our time, and I don't think people even realize that. Like, obviously, The Rock is a great marketer because of what he's built with like his $7, right? $7 entertainment, that what he's been able to build. But I think a lot of that was propelled through like his WWE and like how I mean, not that he didn't work for it, but like television kind of brought a lot of that. Ryan Reynolds was kind of like a nobody in the acting world,
right?
Really,
and then everywhere.
Yeah,
he got the sauce, boy.
Yeah.
Somebody either joined the right club or got the sauce.
and he definitely leans into that like bromance humor.
Oh, for sure.
Like
For sure.
The way he was dancing and doing stuff in that movie. But either way, I really enjoyed the movie. We saw it in 4DX, so it was like riding a roller coaster, especially during the freaking fight scenes.
Dude, it was intense, but worth it. Y'all go see it in 4DX.
So, and then you got one of the rarest popcorn buckets.
Yeah, apparently my son needed to have it. Take your 11-year-old to the movies. But
and then, so we were actually searching for these popcorn.
just kidding. He's older. Whatever. He's mature.
They were searching for these popcorn buckets because only Regal movie theaters were having these like crazy ones, and I had seen the risque ones where it was like Wolverine's mouth.
Yeah, he wouldn't have one of those.
Or Deadpool.
No, this one's like a red metal bucket with like Deadpool and Wolverine like fighting kind of through the bucket.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
And then they were sold out of that one. So my buddy Carlos, that's how we found out yours was rare. They only had 18 of the one that you got in all of
that's wild
Panama City. So, but then my friend Carlos got the baby Deadpool one, which it's an interesting one. Like you have a cap you can unscrew to fill the drink in it, and then it has like a back part you can fill popcorn up.
Yeah.
But again, he said all his friends in California couldn't find that one.
That's wild. People were coming in like while me and my son were waiting to get popcorn and stuff. Folks were like getting their item, which was like one of the merch related items, and then just like leaving, like they weren't seeing the movie yet.
Right.
Maybe they were at work or whatever, because it was like 3:00 was like the first showing.
I haven't followed up on it, but I do know that the baby Deadpool was like $40-something, and I have seen them sell online for like $100+. So
oh yeah, it's wild. I mean collectors,
I bet your popcorn bucket would sell for over $100.
Yeah, probably. But Liam likes it. So.
I know. I wouldn't sell it.
No. Memories.
You only do that when you need the money.
Oh, yeah, true that.
Like
Yeah, true
people
that.
that flip stuff do it because they need the money. Like people that have a lot of money aren't out there like hustling for $100.
No,
you know.
true that.
All right, what else was there? Oh, the teen derailing the train for views. I really don't know what to say about that. I think social media has done a lot of really great things for the world as a whole, connecting people, allowing you to find people with similar interests. There's people that found love on social media, all kinds of stuff. But I think, in my opinion, if I were to rate social media as a whole, I would say it's a negative thing for society.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're more disconnected by feeling connected. With regards to this teenager, though, man, they need to throw the book at him. I mean,
2 felonies. He's 17 years old. He'll be tried as an adult for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, it's sad. Look, I don't want to throw this kid in prison, but like, whatever made them think that this was even remotely okay? Like, that you're not causing, if you knew they were empty somehow, which you couldn't, like, this, the amount of damage you would
cause. Yeah.
I mean, like, a badass little kid, when I was growing up, was like somebody break somebody's taillight or something.
Right.
Like, that was
Knock
like,
a mailbox over.
that was a bad kid.
Yeah.
Not like that. I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Well, yes, I think that, so obviously with social media, you get to a point where it has to become more and more outlandish.
Yeah, you gotta
I think a
one-up.
lot of people don't realize a lot of these videos are staged videos.
Oh, yeah.
So like everyone already knows what's going on. You go out in public and try to do some of these pranks, like for
You'll
real.
get hurt.
You'll get dropped,
Killed.
especially in certain areas.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that. Did you
There
see the
have been
video?
folks where
I
they
saw
get
the video. I think we
shot.
talked about it on the podcast. The video where the guy
Pop.
shot the guy in the mall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, so I think that a lot of that really is just about the fact that, social media is, you have to be more. When we dropped the mega cookies for Fat and Weird, 1 pound cookies, it was so over the top. We used to sell out as moment we dropped them.
Yeah.
And I mean, sell out like a good amount, really fast. And, now there's people that make 2.5 pound cookies,
I know. Yeah.
or 1 kilogram,
Right. Slabs.
Yeah. And so you just get to this point where you're like, it's just like this chasing. It's talked about in the sports.
Yep.
You tell someone you did a Ironman and they're like, oh, that's cool. Now people are doing Ironmans in Antarctica, like we talked about, because like or the guy, we're actually meeting with a guy today who's about to run across Texas.
Yep.
You can't just like say, yo, bro, I went for a 50 miler. And people are like, dang, that's a lot. Because that is impressive. But nowadays on social media, you can, if you want to find ultra marathon runners, you can find them. And then nothing seems impressive because they're running 100 miles, you know?
Stan Goggins motivating everybody to get out there and run.
Yeah. But
who's going to carry the boats?
And then the dopamine chase of like getting views and likes and things like that, I think is also just a negative.
Yeah,
thing.
it does, man. It competes. We don't have real world experiences like we used to. I think people get a lot of, even though the, what you want to call it, pornographic type stuff that's out there, like people are spending too much time engaging with that, not engaging with their significant other or their future significant other or whatever. Folks are getting lonelier, that's for sure.
How do you use social media as like an actual tool to better your life and like not let it become, so like I think a great analogy is like social media is fire, right? You can cook with fire, you can get warmth with fire, you can utilize fire for your life, but fire can also burn your house down, can burn you, can destroy things. And I think social media is a lot like that. I think there is a way to utilize social media appropriately, make business connections, like grow your business. But I think that most people don't know when to like stop, and then it becomes a control.
Well,
of their
it's
life.
mostly entertainment platform, and you don't have a good way of like vetting out the information. So there's a lot of like how to do this, and it's like you don't really know if it's good information or not.
Also, why do I catch myself watching this? How to do this? That I know how to raise these like chickens. And I'm never gonna raise chickens. Like, why am I watching this video?
Again, I don't know, man. Just chemicals in the brain being
Chemicals
released.
be
Feel
chemicaling.
good. Yeah, they do be chemicaling.
You know that when I sat on that plane from when Aubrey and I went to New York last year for Christmas with Letty and all that stuff, I sat on the plane next to a guy who went to Harvard, but he was like drug psychology was what his background was.
Okay.
So he actually did a lot of seminars with medical professionals and stuff like that. And on the flight, I said something. He's in his literal response, and I mean he's probably like a 56-year-old guy. I was like, those chemicals be chemical, and he goes, he literally said, he's like, everything everything is just chemical reactions. He's like,
Yeah.
you love your kid? That's a chemical reaction.
Oxytocin.
Said you he literally said, he said that feeling you feel like, and so he like talked through a lot of that stuff. But he said that's why we were talking about.
That's why people are so easy to manipulate. We just think we're not.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
So, but social media is one that I think that obviously, as an algorithm starts running things more and more, and AI starts getting involved, it's going to know how to hook you in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
that
you're
one
going
company,
to have to be disciplined.
Be something. There's a company that they've got a wearable device. They want to start running it software on Apple's phones where
Block social media?
No, not social media related. AI, just learning all the things
yeah.
that you do, how you respond, how you like talk on the phone. So this thing can make phone calls for you, or it will.
Right.
That's the plan, anyways.
Well,
that
and
it will.
And I showed Alex and Brooke this morning, but Meta is now testing an AI personal assistant for you that will respond to comments, DMs, everything, and you can train it. So like you can ask it questions, have it respond, and then go edit its responses so it gets smarter and
We're
learns.
just training our replacements, y'all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's crazy to see that kind of stuff. And I was going to tell you, there's a company out there now called Brick.
Okay.
And what they do is for people that want smartphones but want to take the capabilities away occasionally, you scan this thing called Brick. And a lot of people put it on their fridge or in their bedrooms. And once you scan it, it bricks your phone so it only can be used as a phone. You can only text and call on it. You can't get on social media and all that stuff. And so I thought, that's a novel idea now. But to me, it's just like discipline.
Yeah, just toss your phone somewhere else and don't go get it.
Right. I think that the world everything is so convenient and at your fingertips that people are losing the ability to just be disciplined.
Well, so I don't have any notifications set to on any social media platform. I just have to want to go get on Instagram, see what's on Instagram. Then I see any of the notifications I get or whatever. I don't do what y'all do. I don't need to respond to people in any kind of real time or whatever. Most of the time I'll see somebody respond to my story like days later. I get a bunch of spam messages, so there's always like an amount of messages that I just kind of ignore. So I see it, I use it, I get on it, but I definitely don't let it like alert me or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, I would love to just be able to like rewind back to like when Aubrey and I first started, because I don't think one, people knew what social media long-term effects were going to be. Two, I've already talked to you about like people didn't know what like the lifestyle, like what lifestyle of an influencer, like what is the pinnacle that you can reach, and then what is the actual life cycle, like how long can you be an influencer? When Aubrey and I started doing it, I thought this is a really cool way to probably like make a decent amount of money, but I knew it would never be a forever thing. But I don't think that I knew about like all the worlds it really could open up. Like some of these, the Charlie girl that's on TikTok that like it literally is like hang out with the Kardashians because she just blew up so big on TikTok stuff. I didn't know it could open those kind of doors, but I think you see now, you go viral. One clip goes viral and it could change your life.
Yeah, well, because you've got everybody's attention. You still got them on the hook, and the folks are going to want to reel that thing around them. It's all clout posturing, you know.
Attention is like people want to act like the most important currency in the world is attention. It's number one right now.
It is, man.
And number two is your data.
yeah, man.
We used to run off of gold and oil, and now it's attention and data.
Yep.
So,
sad truth.
Speaking of attention and data, did you see that Prince that recently got married? I don't think we have anything, so you're going to have to write this down, Eastman, to like try to find these clips. That it's in Dubai. The guy was getting married, and like some people were filming him coming to the mall because his entourage, like 20 escort cars pull up, and then I think he has like an orange Rolls Royce or something like that he came in, right? And then they went through the wedding about like gifts that were given to him and who showed up to the wedding. So people like Jeff Bezos was at his wedding, Mark Zuckerberg was at his wedding, John Cena was at his wedding, but they started talking about the gifts, and they like said like, oh, these are 3 cores or whatever, which like is the Dubai money. So I couldn't really translate things, but to put it in perspective, like someone gave him a custom Rolls Royce and it was like 5 core or something like that, whatever the units of measure. His parents gave him something, and it was like a mansion worth 400 core. You know, so you're like literally 80 times those. And they like some of the gifts included a private jet, homes, emerald necklaces, like all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Hey,
did you find this guy recent? It's like, it's like Amit or something like that. But it was all the news like last week.
Okay,
like,
where's he from? Dubai?
I think he's some kind of prince, like some kind of like Saudi prince type thing.
Oh, Saudi. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes
but
sense.
his marriage was in Dubai.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They
no, it was
live
like
it up over there.
I think sometimes people don't realize the amount of money in the world is like disgusting. You know, like these people make Jeff Bezos look poor.
Yeah.
Because we put these rankings up, right? And we go, Elon Musk is the richest guy in the world, and it's like he's not really though.
No, he's like paper rich. A lot of them. I mean, these guys are. Yeah, dude, they're pumping.
Well, we already talked
liquid
about
gold out of the ground.
Kim Jong-un is worth more than all these countries.
Yeah, any of these dictators for sure. A lot of these oligarchs. A lot of these, Russian folks that have been around since the Soviet Union have stashed away just countless fortunes.
Right.
Yeah, they don't want to be on lists.
Yeah.
They don't need to be on no list.
Yeah. It's so funny when we think about money and we think about the richest people, and a lot of them are US based on our list. But the truth is those lists are not all inclusive. And a lot of the people that are on those lists could trump everyone below them combined, and they don't want to be on your list.
Nope. Nope. Plus, they don't want to pay taxes. They don't want people to know what they have.
Yeah. But you didn't find him?
I'm finding some stuff. I'm just not finding what you're.
Yeah. But anyways, it was wild to see the gifts that this person had gotten. Like you were like, can I just get these gifts and sell them out and just live forever off of wedding gifts?
Probably good without it.
But all right, well let's roll into resorts while we're thinking about gifts. Cheaper resort or Washington? So let's see what this is about.
Hey, so remember this? Have we ever considered that it's actually cheaper to live in an all-inclusive resort than it is to live in the apartments that we currently occupy? Well, I did those 30 days in Mexico, and then I did those 30 days in Seattle, and then I thought I was done. And everyone was saying, oh my God, Ben, when are you gonna post the finale? Bitch, I posted the finale. Did none of you see that? Did you not know that the finale was posted? Anyway, here's the official finale because you guys didn't see it the first time. So welcome to comparing what it costs in Mexico to what it costs in Seattle and finally determining whether it is cheaper to live in Mexico or Seattle or all-inclusive resort in Seattle or however you want to frame it. This is the video. Okay, if you are confused and you want to see it, the whole playlist down below. There's like 60 episodes. It's basically a bingeable series at this point. As a reminder, we were starting with the ideal budget of $4,100, which is what I thought I was operating under in Seattle. You will see that I was wrong about that, and y'all called me out pretty quickly. After doing an entire month in Mexico, $4,796 is what we spent in Mexico for a whole month. However, you can see there, day 27, it was not the full 30 days, and y'all pointed that out. So we estimated, we had a conversation, and this is what we came up with. $5,000. Based on the last 3 days, I said I was probably spending about $100 a day there, not including rent, everything. It would have been included for the whole thing, right? $5,000. I did my 30 days in Seattle. And
Okay, I'm really confused, but what it sounds like is it's cheaper to live in an all-inclusive resort than it is to live in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, in Mexico, yeah, that sounds like it checks out. Seattle isn't cheap. I don't know. That's not that shocking. If he only spent like whatever that was, $5,600 or whatever it was a month, that doesn't sound bad if that was like his groceries and everything too. If that was like just his apartment, but all inclusive would include like
your rent,
alcohol, your rent,
your
whatever. So like,
yeah. I mean, I haven't heard of people like going
you
full-time
spend a lot
cruisers.
less than that in like the South Pacific or like Thailand or wherever.
Yeah,
a lot less.
Well, full-time cruising people spend it less too.
Oh,
which is, I mean, wild. I mean, it's a completely different lifestyle. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's hard to compare to like all-inclusive resort. Like you said, food, alcohol, everything's included. Also, like someone comes and cleans my room for me, and then I can put my laundry out, and they also do my laundry.
Sounds like you know where to move.
So
dog.
yeah,
if you can do remote,
right,
same time zone or ish, right?
It should be pretty close.
Depends on where you are in Mexico.
But I don't know. That's but you've talked about Thailand and like those kind of
my wife and I have
countries
looked into those places. We had a business opportunity that obviously this came about, so this was a better one. But It's an exchange rate thing. It's a cultural thing. Just the Western. I don't know, man. I see but then again, then I worry about, being outside the country if stuff does pop off. But it's like, man, we're just like eating ourselves alive. We're just like over here. America's just like over here self-hating itself. Like,
Yeah.
And
it's I guess the thing that I struggle with the most about America is like, in general, even people that claim they're broke are living in the most prosperous time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, being broke in America means you drive a reliable vehicle and you have an iPhone and you're somehow and you have a place that you live.
Well, sure,
like,
there's levels. I mean, there are folks struggling. I get that, and I know that. I just mean like the vitriol, the way people talk to each other, the way, like you wear a Trump shirt at a Biden rally, people ready to like stab you in the face, or whatever.
A lot of hate.
Just hatred for like not enough reasons. Like, you don't know anything about that person. All the folks, we talked about it last time on the folks that were saying it was okay for Trump to get shot at or whatever. Yeah. It's just like, why? Because you hold different political values?
Well, because you have nothing to actually worry about.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's so angry all the time.
Like, if you had to worry about like getting eaten by a lion every time you left your house, you would stop worrying so much about some other random stuff.
Like, Brad, did you see Eastman got ate by a tiger?
Yeah, like you better
be like, oh shit. Okay, I guess this isn't really that big a deal.
Yeah. So I think that's a lot of it is just that people have nothing to truly worry about in life, so they like figure out other stuff to worry about.
Yeah, they get their hits from the social media and little videos and stuff.
That's true. And they get their entire news from social media, which we all know how that is.
Oh, man, yeah, it can be so niche and specific and one-sided, Ugh.
Yeah. Okay, well, that brings us to depression versus anger. Anger men.
Anger men.
I can't wait to see this. Depression versus anger man. It sounds like a superhero.
A guy who's always angry is a guy who's always depressed. Women get emotional. Men don't like feeling emotional, so they get angry. They don't like feeling weak, so they get angry. They don't like feeling defeated, so they get angry. They don't like processing their pain or their hurt or their trauma, so they get angry. What happens when a man gets angry? He feels strong. Testosterone fires, endorphins fire, you're on your front foot, you're in the fight or flight cycle, you're strong, you're not weak. So most men who are angry are depressed, and they're manifesting their depression with male anger, and their manifestation is different than women. This is what I'm telling you.
I mean, there's parts that I agree with. I feel like people use anger to hide the actual emotion that they're feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
And a lot of times people use anger as a front to like
deflect.
push people down or away or whatever.
Well, yeah, they use a lot of folks get offended real fast if you try to talk about certain things or hold them accountable, but I don't know what he's using to qualify his opinion. I don't know that my experiences have been that way.
Yeah, I don't think that when I get angry, I don't think that it's depression. I think I could push it to stress or anxiety, which would be more like fear-based, truthfully, because when you are anxious about things going on, it's easier to become angry because you're already operating in that kind of like
fight or flight.
Fight or flight mode. So I would have a hard time saying that anger you're depressed because and you're showing that via anger.
Yeah, man, I normally get angry when I have to like redo the same thing over and over again, or like tell somebody the same thing or do some kind of thing. Then I start to get irritated and angry. So unless you're saying like I'm depressed that you just won't do what I've asked you to do, like, so now I'm angry. But that's not depression. That's just
I have a really bad character flaw on myself is that like I show frustration and irritation very easily when I'm trying to explain stuff to someone when they're not getting it. So I know it's bad about me, and sometimes I have to like catch myself.
Yep.
But like I literally can feel my like agitation like skyrocket when I'm like, this is so basic. How are you not comprehending this?
Yeah.
It like really frustrates me.
I have a touch of that too. I like lose my mind though when they like either shut down or play dumb, pretend, you know, where it's like, no, you know how to do this. Like, you know what I mean? We're not even at the confusing part. We haven't even gotten to new territory. And they're like, I don't know. Oh.
Yeah. And I'll always be like, can you just tell me what you're not getting so I can like try to like do that? And then they're overwhelmed, so they start pushing back, and then I just get upset. So it is it's a terrible
depression versus anger men. I don't know. I don't buy it.
No, but I will say that I agree that people use anger to cover other feelings that they're feeling.
Yeah.
You know, the waiter spilled something on you and you jump up and tell the waiter how he's terrible at his job, but you're feeling embarrassed because something spilled on you.
Yeah, man, I know that a general pretty good feel about yourself is to exercise or go accomplish something, go clean up your yard, go clean out your garage, go do whatever. You'll feel good about yourself. You'll feel masculine. If you got heavy stuff in there, you'll fire up the testosterone, all the things you guys said. And the stuff you can't do anything about anyways, or whatever is causing you to just sit around and get pissed off, at least at the end, you may still be grumpy, but like, you always feel better when you get something done.
Kind of, yeah, for sure.
Boom, did this thing. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know? So it makes me feel better. And I think you can get some of them jitters out too by moving around.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, Eastman asked, like, why do we demonize anger? And I think that the truth is, I think it's because of what anger then manifests, which is usually like a verbal attack or a physical assault or things like that. I think that there's nothing wrong with getting angry that things happen, but usually it's like what follows the anger that, you know, make like destruction. Those kind of things are usually traits that follow anger.
Yeah. It just falls into the whole whatever word demasculinization of just society or men or whatever of like, I mean, there was a time where it's like, we could just go out back, duke it out and then be fine. And people weren't, I don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't have all the mass occurrences. We didn't have all the same type of issues. I don't know. So it's just, we demonize it. Why? I don't know. We're, you know, just making.
Well, I mean, usually nothing good follows anger though. I mean, you know.
No, but it's natural and it's biological, and nothing good follows suppressing natural human responses and whatever. I mean, because you don't just go outside and yell for a quick second because everyone goes like, oh, video camera, shame response or whatever, where it's just like,
It release. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, or like whatever it is. Because we then like shame them, but for no reason. I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously, a good natural release of anger would be to work out, go for a run, do something that allowed you to channel those upset feelings and like release them in a positive, healthy way. So I don't think there's anything wrong with anger. I think it's how people process anger. I mean, most of the time ends up being ways that, you know.
Yeah. And most of the time, again, lack of accountability. A lot of times folks get angry and they just refuse to see their side of any of the fault and then just use that to mask it. And like, if you go into it with kind of like a, how'd I screw this up? Then it's hard to get angry because then you're angry at yourself, and it's hard to be really angry at yourself.
I have a hot take.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know what emotions they're feeling.
Right.
I think it may be a generational thing, because like, I think one of the things that we've learned through counseling and stuff like that, and even like parenting books I've read about Letty, is like discussing about like what emotions they're feeling in the moment. And like, no one ever did that to me when I was a kid. Like,
right.
Okay, you're upset. Can you tell me why you're upset?
Well, you got at least our parents. You got boomer era who were raised by their parents. That was a very tough generation. There's some depression era stuff in there. Their childhoods were, like sometime in there was one school that was like, suck it up. My life was harder than yours. And I think that produced some pretty good kids. And then there was some that somehow got too much attention, or too much like the world will just do whatever for you. Because there's like folks our age that like, I don't know, can't do nothing.
Right. Yeah.
And like, no, I'm sorry, that wasn't good enough to get a trophy. I don't know when all that happened. I feel like I was already past most of that stuff.
Yeah, I remember
like,
them doing the participation awards like near the tail end of my time playing sports.
Well,
you know?
and then like you got kids that grow up, and of course, you know, largest economic growth period, you know, during the boomers or whatever. Oh, I mean, you know, your parents did well enough by the time you ended high school that they were able to get you a car and stuff like that. Well, so if you don't learn how to or want to go get it on your own, then like, I mean, I know kids in high school, their parents got them a BMW for average level work and attendance. And so you're going to go out in the job market with average performance and average attendance. You're not going to be able to afford a BMW.
Yeah.
And then they're freaking out.
Yeah. So the car was actually, we were told, like when I was in middle school, that if I got essentially straight A's with only the occasional B, essentially, but no C's. Like if I got a C, it was completely off the table. So it was all A's and the occasional B, just because they realized that like you're not going to excel at everything in life. You know, there'd be things that was the deal, that they would get, we would be able to get a car. And I remember them like setting the budget and everything when I was in 8th grade, knowing that I could have this vehicle if I, you know, met those expectations. I think in my parents' mind, they were like, well, if he gets good enough grades, then he should be able to get some kind of scholarship that will offset the vehicle price, because we won't be paying for college. But I will say, I probably had $20,000 saved up by the time I graduated high school. I could have bought myself a car if I needed to. Because I just would always work every summer, and I would save my money, and I didn't buy anything. I just didn't buy anything. Didn't buy stupid stuff. So I think that a lot of people feel entitled to buy things that they don't need and to keep up with the social media.
Well, again, though, I think they were raised that way. I think they were trained that way by having, you know, in a household, you're kind of a socialist little situation. You know, you got whatever mom and dad got. Right. Depending on how the family shares. But like, you know, you live in a nicer house than you could afford. You got more rooms than you could afford, and TVs. You know, you can't. I mean, like I had the game systems, and we had the, you know, stuff growing up. My mom had to pay for all that. I couldn't have bought any of it. I'm a baby or a child. And so like there's that disparity, and she did a good job at, you know, we live frugally, and we still got to do cool stuff and whatever. So, but yeah, put a work ethic in my ass to like, I need to get out there. I need to get out there and get my grind on, man. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Eastman has brought up like, where did I work at? And I get, you know, obviously fortunate that I like could just work for my parents over the summer. Sure. But I want to just say that my parents did not give me like some high paid job. Like I remember literally making like $7 an hour working for them. And it was in an under conditioned warehouse in Florida in the summer. So like, I probably could have done any manual labor job. Like you did concrete or something.
I did concrete work.
So like I could have done any of those jobs and been paid probably more than working for my parents. Obviously working for my parents is just easier, because like if something came up that I couldn't go to work, you know, they would know about it and things like that. And the expectations were probably higher.
Probably higher. Yeah, I agree. I know your parents, they have high standards, and I would imagine you would hold your kids with higher standards.
So, so I tell people I work for my parents. A lot of times they're like, oh yeah, you just work for your parents.
Lucky.
Like, no, bro. I was literally in an air-conditioned warehouse, and like, I remember having to drive the delivery trucks and stuff. So I was like, there was no joking around. I wasn't just like hanging out, you know? So, but that was my introduction into it. And then every summer I wasn't working when I was in college. If I wasn't working, I came home and worked for my parents. Yeah. So,
yeah, I worked as much as I could. I joined the Army when I was 17, though, so like I didn't have a long work career. 15, 16, did all kinds of odd jobs on various construction-related mainly concrete.
What was your first job ever? Was it
Tropical Smoothie.
Tropical Smoothie?
Yeah, they hired me at 14, and I walked to work. Yeah.
Which Tropical was it here?
The one on 23rd Street.
Oh, really?
Yep, I still know. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Learn the franchising game early.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of funny, man. Growing up, I had this, like, my mom used to tell me, but I wanted to, like, own all these businesses or be involved with all these businesses, but I didn't really understand, because kind of limited worldview, you know, whatever. But, like, I wanted to own a grocery store so that I could, like, give people jobs and get free groceries. None of it was really money related. It was always, like, free stuff, because that's, like, what you look up to when you want a little more than you got. Yeah. So yeah, just all the businesses, everything. I can't even think of what all of them, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I remember
now I've kind of been involved with so many. It's wild.
Well, I remember a lot of food places though. So,
Yep.
you know,
Yep. A lot of food.
I remember whenever Aubrey and I first started social media, I was like, man, you know, it'd be dope. Get a clothing sponsor, get a supplement sponsor, and then get like a meal prep sponsor. I'm like, I'm set.
Yeah, dude. When I did all the athletics and stuff, dude, I was swagged out, clothes sponsor, gear, whatever you want, all the CrossFit stuff you could want, supplements, easy. I was trying to lock down that Publix sub sponsorship, but I never got it. I was like, Publix Deli, sponsor me. Haribo never sponsored me either. Haribo. Still love y'all.
When we had friends in town, we had pub subs and we went to the beach and stuff, and they were like, they had never had them, and they were like, these are so good. Yeah, they really are.
It's worth the hype.
Yeah, it's better than Subway.
Yeah,
you know,
Hands
like,
down.
and the price is cheap. We got like 5 subs, chips, drinks. It was like $55.
That's not bad.
So yeah, really good deal. Well, we're going to go ahead and cut it out today because we're actually doing a double header because I'm gone next week. So we'll talk about where I'm going to because that podcast will go live while I'm gone.
Oh, perfect.
So, yeah. Or I
Tune
guess
in.
right after I get back. Yeah, it'll go live right after I get back that Monday. So, be perfect. So, you're worth it. Do our shit.